I suppose the thing that's different about this kind of drama group is that it set out from the beginning to involve women with kids. The way we use drama is to look at ourselves and situations we find ourselves in with our children. One of the things that kept cropping up in discussion over the last year was the topic of going to the doctor. So when we began to think about going out and performing for other women's groups, this theme seemed like an obvious choice. The fact of our having the kids around seems to make a great difference, not only to the kind of sessions we have, but also to how we wanted to perform. In the end, what evolved was a series of sketches which let other women interrupt us and join in to something called the drum game.
You're a bit too bossy.
Why did we start?
Why?
Well, that was true.
Doing the drama. Well, it was me, but it was also trying to work out something that would actually be suitable to what women need in the way of a drama session. Because I mean, you can have a drama group, and it actually isn't dealing with anything which is important in your life, and it's also on the whole, just practically speaking, not possible to go to that kind of thing for lots and lots of women. In fact, all the business of having the children around all the time. Either you make a group which can kind of accommodate that, and in which that's important and it's central, or you have something which is, I think, really phony. I don't know about you. I mean, we've got Claire today.
But our first few sessions were more or less like role play, weren't they? We were all going through dreadful experiences that we had and kind of almost using the session as therapy, weren't we, to get all these things out of our system. We were supposed to be thinking up impros, but we were just griping like mad. We'd all come in saying, "You never guess what happened to me on the way here today."
Big bonus of the group was that we could come along and bring the kids with us.
That's right.
And talk to other mums.
Mm-hmm.
The whole way that the show has developed, and the fact that when you're performing, the audience can participate at any time, like they can stop the action and redirect it. I mean, how does it feel like getting up and doing something like that, knowing that at any point it might be stopped and it might go off in a completely different direction?
I like it happening. I like it.
It didn't bother me. It's really good.
Yeah. But there was one group we did, and they really took off, didn't they, at the Institute? And what came out was similar experiences. And I mean, we're talking on such a low level. I mean, we're talking about just visiting doctors, which is something, I mean, most people would say, what you want to do is about just visiting the doctor for. But it's something that everybody I've ever met has said, yes, I know what you mean.
Right. The game that we have to play today is a game that we made up for ourselves in order to help ourselves say what we wanted to say when we went to the doctor. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in that surgery, and you're sitting there and he's sitting there, and you know he's thinking something and you're thinking something, but it's things you can't say. Barbie's going to play the doctor, and Angela is going to play the doctor's secret thoughts. So what Angela says is what the doctor's really thinking. This is Mrs. O'Brien, and she's coming to the doctor with a problem. And Helen is going to play her secret thoughts. Yes, please. Good morning. And what seems to be the problem?
It sounds so silly.
Doctor, I've got this pain in my tummy and it hurts when I walk.
Neurotic woman. How long have you had this pain?
I'm so embarrassed.
About 6 weeks now.
Better ask about sex. And are you taking contraceptives?
Oh God, he thinks I'm pregnant.
Well, no, but I know I'm not pregnant because I've just had my period.
Better have a look then. If you'd just like to take your bra and pants off and hop up onto the couch.
Oh dear, I don't want to be examined. He's horrible.
What now, Doctor?
Yes. Bloody women wasting my time with their period pains.
Oh, I knew it was going to end like this. I hate being examined. I wish I'd never come to this wretched place.
I'm ready, Doctor.
Doctor, I get the impression that nobody ever listens to a word I say.
Would you kindly tell me what is the problem?
Well, the problem is that nobody listens to a word I say, Doctor.
Mrs. Chung, could you kindly tell me what is the problem?
Nobody listens to a word I say.
Look, I'm afraid you're wasting my time. Could you kindly tell me what the problem is?
Nobody listens to a word I say.
Ever get that feeling when you went to the doctor?
So, Mrs. Brown, take a seat. It is Mrs. Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely. How's baby?
He's fine, thank you.
Oh, isn't he lovely? Yes, it's pretty. Yes, very sweet. Is baby still having the problem with his bowel movements?
No, he hasn't got any problems at all. He's doing fine. He's doing really well.
You do understand what I mean by bowel movements?
Yeah, I do understand. Baby's fine, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Oh, well, just make a note of that. You'd just like to take the blanket of baby and pop on the scales just here. And just see how his weight's improved. He's 6 weeks old now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Here we are, dear. Won't take a moment. Okay, that's fine. Oh dear, he hasn't really improved, has he?
Yeah, he's put on a lot of weight. He's getting really nice and big now.
Yes, you think so. Jolly good. Has baby been following the diet that doctor prescribed last time? You know, the supplement feeding?
My baby's not on no diet. Not at all.
Did you take the sheet?
You didn't give me no sheet. My baby's not on no diet.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm
sure you
quite
didn't just
sure,
fold
yeah.
it up and put it in your bag and forget?
No, I'm quite sure. My baby's not on no diet.
Oh, well, never mind. Well, look, hold on a moment. I'll just go and answer the phone. I won't be a moment. Doctor should be in a minute, okay? Hello? Yes, sister here? Well, the clinic's very busy today, I'm afraid. I'm quite sure we can fit you in. Yes, if you come later on. Yes, we'll see doctor. Fine. What's the name? I'll make a note of it. Okay, see you then. Bye. Oh, I say. I mean, this just isn't
It
it,
says in
good,
there that my baby's on no diet and my...
But
Who?
me.
Yes.
But that file is about her baby, right? And you're telling her all those things, and she doesn't know half what you said.
See, we find this happens with people, you see, and patients and mothers. And what we do is, if we keep the files separate from mothers, we don't get this sort of confusion.
Yeah, but I mean, you can write anything down in there about her.
Well, it has to be confidential. You do understand what I mean?
From the mother? Confidential from the mother?
Yes.
No. Oh,
Well, you see, otherwise you get all sorts of confusions, and this is what's happening here. You see, this poor lady.
No, you're confused.
I think we're getting rather excited here.
I'm having trouble, sister.
It's okay, doctor. I'm just explaining to the patient here and to the ladies that these notes are confidential.
That's quite right. These notes actually are the property of the National Health Service.
But it says in there that my baby's on a diet and my baby's not putting on no weight. And
She had a look, I'm afraid. This is
my
what the whole
baby's
problem's about.
constipated. My baby's not constipated. My
Please
baby's
calm down.
alright.
Yes, no.
There's nothing wrong with my baby.
Now, let me explain to you.
Those aren't my baby's notes. They're not my baby's notes.
Sometimes mothers do get a little confused.
They're not my baby's notes. My
I'm-
baby's not constipated.
I
My
really-
baby's perfectly fine. There's
I really
nothing wrong
have
with
to
him.
explain that these notes are actually confidential medical
I don't
reports.
care if they're
And they are
confidential.
only
They're not
open
my
to
baby's
doctors
notes.
and nurses.
They're not my baby's notes.
Now look, this is Mrs. Smith, isn't it? Mrs. Smith, Cheltenham Road. William Smith.
No, it's William Brown.
Oh.
They're not my baby's notes. Now say you was giving me something for my baby and anything went
Just a
wrong with my
moment,
baby.
sister.
I'm not coming back here
Sister.
again. What's the matter with you people? You could have killed my baby.
Now,
I'm not
sister.
coming back at
Yes,
all.
doctor.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
There's been another mess up in the filing system.
I'm terribly sorry, doctor. I'm quite sure it can't be. Just can't be.
Sister.
Yes, doctor.
Now look, this really won't do. It's really not good enough.
It's this new nurse. I'll just go and get her. Hold on.
Just a moment.
I went to the hospital with my baby once, right? She wasn't very well. I mean, she wasn't ill. And they made me wait an hour in this room. She got really fed up because she was walking. And they said, put this fan on her and cool her down. She was there for an hour. So she started to walk out into the, like, you know where the waiting room is, where everybody goes. So I sat there with her, and this nurse came out and said, take your baby back in there. And I said, well, I've been waiting an hour. And she said, well, you'll have to wait. And so this geezer come, this guy, right, who I don't know what you call him, head doctor or something. And I said, I've been waiting an hour. And he said, don't you be so cheeky. And I said, I'm not being cheeky, right? And as I was going out, I saw my phone, I looked in it, and it said, the mother is very uncooperative, and all this and that lot. And I said, well, why are you writing that about me? He said, you weren't supposed to read it. But if you get an incident like that, right, and say you have any trouble, because they check around hospitals, they'll say, oh, well, she didn't seem to care about her baby. Then the social service, and they think, oh, well, she doesn't care about her baby, and whip it away.
So they'll take the baby away.
There's, you know.
So it's like all that information.
Yeah, but they gather it all together.
They
They put it down like that, and you don't know.
Until something happens and they knock on your door and say, well, you're not very cooperative, let's
Yeah,
take her
because in
away.
1978 you refused to do this, and you think,
Yeah.
what the fuck are they talking about? Why were they in 1978?
A lot of them don't have the experience of going to doctors because
What,
I was
men?
always taken. No, women, anybody.
What, actually
I mean,
going
I was
on?
taken by my mum and she used to say everything for me.
Like the character I
I'd never
play.
get a chance to speak. And that has been all the way through. I mean, never used to go anywhere. I didn't even know Ryan Lane until I went to work in there.
Morning, Doctor. Sit down, Helen.
Can I have the name, please?
It's Mrs. Thorogood, and this is my daughter Helen, and that's our baby William.
And who is the patient?
It's William.
William.
He's really not going
Can
to
I have
matter
the
at
baby's
the
name
moment.
then?
William Makepeace. It's not really about William, it's more about...
It's about William George, if you don't mind, Helen. Remember your father?
Is it about the baby or is it about you?
It's like this, Doctor. Let me explain. Just hold on a minute, dear, and I'll explain to Doctor. Just look after William. Look, you haven't got his things on right.
He's all right, Mum.
Well, now, it's little Willie, and when I had him weighed last week, he was only 13 pounds.
You had him weighed?
Well, yes. I popped into the chemist on the way around. I was just running back. An interruption.
Why are you taking over from her?
It's only inadequate, see?
Don't look at him.
I'm afraid my daughter isn't really able to cope with these situations. She has to have her mother there.
She doesn't have a lot of choice, actually.
I disagree.
Mum, are you going to let me talk about this? Because, I mean, it's me that's got the problem, really.
Oh, all right.
Yes, I would hear Laura.
Shall we change places? I've been interrupted. I don't really like this.
See, the thing is that, like, I'm breastfeeding.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Now, I have to tell you, Doctor, excuse me, Helen. Well, what it is, you see, it's where she does it and everything. I mean, she just...
No, it's not...
We was down Ryan Lane yesterday and she nipped round the back by the toilet and there she was.
Will you kindly start in your phone, please?
Still like it.
I get this pain, you see.
Right.
Because...
Well, it's too late for her to be doing it. Now, that baby's 6 weeks old, right?
Do you think you could just let your daughter talk? Because I haven't really got much time. And there is other people waiting. So as soon as we get to the bottom of the problem, the better it'll be. Right.
Well,
and you say you're getting this pain.
Yeah. Because my mum says that I should only feed like 4 hours.
Well, that's what it says in the book. That's what my mum told me.
But down in the clinic, they said I was to feed on
4 hours is right.
Feed on demand is right.
You're making a rod for your own back, my girl.
No, if
making a rod.
If I wait like for 4 hours, he gets really upset.
Yes, because he's probably hungry after 4
Yeah,
hours.
you don't care how much you're upsetting me, do you?
And I
No.
get sore, see.
Right, well, you will do. You will get sore.
But my mum, she doesn't like it, and I live with my mum.
That's right, and while you're in my house, you're going to
Well,
do what I say,
you're
my
not doing
girl.
it, is she? You're feeding the baby.
Well, my mum says she could do it with a bottle and that, you know.
Well, why should you? Why should you have to take any notice of what your mum said?
Because I live with my mum.
I beg your pardon. I haven't come here to be insulted. Mum, take no notice of what your mother says. Who do you think you are just because you've got that white coat on? Mother knows best.
So you think,
Mothers think they know best.
you think it's all right then? I mean, down the clinic they say he's doing all right.
That's okay. He's putting on weight, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing fine.
No.
Doing right.
My mum, she's worried that he doesn't
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go at all. No, it's not natural. I don't think it's right.
That
Really isn't
The rest of the
natural.
babies don't go that.
Because they said that like there's not much sort of rubbish.
He probably
in
goes
it.
more than what your mother does.
Well, I mean, she doesn't that sort of thing. We don't.
I've never heard of such a thing. Really? I'm disgusted. Helen, I'm leaving.
Oh, Mum.
I'm leaving. And you'll be leaving soon, my girl, as well, if it goes on like that.
Very much, Doctor. Mum.
Now listen, I'm feeling really poorly. Oh no, it's my head. It's my head.
Don't let's have this all over again, Mum. Oh, Mum, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm only trying to do what's best for the baby.
Oh, Mum! Oh, come along! I read in a newspaper about a young woman who had jumped from the 11th floor of her tower block with a baby in her arms. And the newspaper report described how this girl had jumped, having been rehoused up at this height. And there was an inquest, and the coroner returned a verdict of suicide, and that the woman had jumped from the 11th floor because she was suffering from a depressive illness. Well, since that time, we've collected a lot of similar incidents. There was one on radio a few months ago. There was one in Hackney that led them to form a tenants' housing association. There was another one that was reported in the papers in the summer. Now, it seems to me that it's a funny old illness that makes people do that, and that the problem that those people were suffering from was not a medical problem. It was a housing problem. It was a problem of where they were forced to live and what it did to them in their lives. And you think of those women and those children under such pressure that the woman will jump with her own child in her arms, and all of us can understand what that adds up to. Then there's something seriously adrift. So this piece we call the 11th floor.
Just wait a minute. Just stay there.
Mom. Ah, good morning. Mrs. Williams. Yes, can you tell me what seems to be the problem?
I don't know. I just feel depressed.
Mom?
Oh, shut up a minute.
Is that your little boy out there?
It is.
Yeah. Mrs. Jones, could you give the baby a comment or something right now? Let's get a move on that. Yes, so you're feeling depressed?
Yes.
How long has this been going on? How long have you been feeling like this?
Ever since I moved up there,
You moved up
on the 11th floor.
the 11th floor? Oh, I see, yeah, Wickham Point. Oh. I see you're on the 11th, are you? Well, that's nice. New flat, is it?
I'm glad you think it's nice.
Well, very good accommodation, I believe, in that block.
Yeah, but it's up. Shut up a minute. It's up the 11th flight of stairs on the 11th floor.
Well, I'm sure you do. Yes, but you can take the lift, can't you?
Yeah, but the lift's not working.
Oh, that's a pity, isn't it? Well, could we get back to the point now? How is it you're feeling? Are you,
I've just told you, I'm feeling depressed. And I don't know why.
Oh, possibly you're not sleeping very well.
No, I don't suppose I am.
I see. So, you need something to help you sleep. Uh-huh. And, the depression. Now then, can you tell me when you feel this, when it comes on?
All the time. Shut up a minute. All the time.
Mrs. Jones, could you just try and do something with that little boy?
Sorry, Doctor, I'm doing my best.
Yes, well...
He's like that all the time, you know.
Yes, well, I
It
mean...
keeps on and on. Wets the bed and everything. There's a job to get the washing done with no electricity.
You've got no electricity?
No, I haven't. They cut it off.
Oh, perhaps, Mrs. Williams, you didn't pay your bill.
I did. I gave in the bill.
Don't you think the doctor should be sort of like talking about her depression rather than her electricity and where she lives?
Yeah. The doctor is trying to talk about the depression.
Shouldn't you be talking about where she lives?
The cause of the depression.
That's the $54,000 question, isn't it? Shouldn't you be talking about where she lives? Shouldn't you be talking about her conditions? This is where the bits of the system don't lock together, isn't it? Now, this lady is depressed. Too right she's depressed. Aren't you? Yes, she is. And we want to know why. The doctor may be looking for some kind of magical medical reason that he can give her a pill.
The doctor doesn't look for the same things that are relevant to her.
No, he doesn't.
Like
Because he doesn't know
electricity or
them.
that thing. He doesn't, he's not bothered, is he?
No, he's not. She's telling me. And I'm going to try and stop her. Right, now, could we come back to the point, please? I'm afraid that there's very little that I can do for you about your electric bill and your other problems, but perhaps you'd like to take these.
I don't need any pills.
Now look, Miss Williams, you...
I don't need any.
You come to me.
You're only going to give them to me and I'm going to take the old bloody lot. I don't need any pills.
I see. Well, I think you should try and take...
Oh, shut up a minute.
I think you should try and take more of a grip on yourself, Miss Williams.
Mama, why don't you...
Why don't you try
Wait a minute.
and get out more often?
Well, you try and get out from 11 floors when the blooming lift's broken. You've got to walk all the way down the stairs, take all the kids down, carry the buggy, carry the shopping, do the lot.
Places like high-rise blocks just need to be blown up. Basically, I mean, you know, it's not fit for anyone to live in. You just live on the 12th floor. You know what I mean? It's just not on. I mean, people aren't supposed to live like that.
They need to take
It's like, if you're like from, say, a lower class, right? I mean, most doctors are middle class, upper class. And they don't understand just a normal, just social security class, because there is a social security class of people, or a working class of people. To understand just the basic things, you know what I mean? They haven't. And the only people who can do like doctor things or that sort of thing are people who are from well-off backgrounds anyway.
When it boils down to it, there's a crisis in this borough with housing. And they're trying very hard, but they haven't got the money or the resources to change it. Next year it's going to get worse. They're going to have something like, I don't know, it's like £10 billion taken out of the money, the budget.
Well, you can't get anything out of that without creating an absolute... You can't.
Most blokes have been brought up to think that they're going to have a job and they're going to provide for a woman and their family. And it's all ridiculous because it puts you in a position where you really haven't got a mind. You've got some bloke to come along and look after you and look after your family. And of course, a lot of women don't want that. So whether or not a bloke's out of work or in work, they're struggling with these feelings as well. And if they're out of work, it makes them feel even more useless. And I think it comes out in sort of antisocial behaviour.
Even when they're at work, they just think about themselves anyway. They're there moping around the house thinking about themselves. They still don't think about you. You're waiting on them hand and foot.
Well, I think they're the ones who make us hide our feelings. You see what I mean? They make you do that. You know, sort of like hide your feelings, and because they don't want to understand anyway. I mean, you get some men who are very...
want to understand.
Well, they will at first. They'll, you know, sort of like, oh, isn't this a pity? Or, you know, I really feel sorry for her or sorry for that. Because I went with my sister-in-law to Guy's Hospital the other day, and I had a television, and it was showing these videos of breastfeeding and how to cope with your baby at home. And there was a couple, I think it was their first baby, because they just looked newly married and stuff. And he sort of like, and he was like this, and she was trying to explain to him how it is to breastfeed, and he was sort of like cuddling her and stuff. But I wonder how he'll be after she's had 3 or 4 kids. You know, that cuddling and that understanding won't be there anymore. I don't think it will.
The family, there's just not much said about how tiring it is for the mother. And a lot of men, although they can cope for a bit, are used to having mothers who gave up everything just to look after the family. And their mothers never used to go on. I mean, I remember talking to my mum and she's saying, I don't know what you're going on for, you know, I didn't do anything for 20 years. And she just can't understand just how we just won't sit around washing up and stuff all the time. I think there's these pressures on people that are making, you know, relationships with men so difficult. Because they've got to change, we're changing, and it's splitting people up.
I'll tell you what, I think we're finding enormous strength within ourselves, I'm sure. A lot of women have always had that strength.
Do you remember doing the confidence thing? Do you remember when we got to the point of asking why nobody had got any confidence over doing things which they could usually do quite well? And kind of using the group to talk that through. So what happens when you have this baby? And your confidence in doing things which you could do before seems to evaporate. Do you think that's true?
What I used to do when I left Drone up at my mum's for 6 weeks just to get a break. When I used to go out to the shops, I used to bring a couple of tissues in my pocket. When I saw like the crowded bus stop, I'd get this tissue like this, so you know, because I felt sort of weird going past like a big crowd of people, you know. Yeah. So that was, I thought, they wouldn't really look at me, they'll look at me blowing my nose or something like that. You know, it was really.
There was a time when we talked for about 6 weeks.
We had to talk through before we could pin down anything, and then we found this business of the doctor, because our social backgrounds are all quite widely different, but we all met on common ground over this business of going to the doctor with the kids. That was an area that we all had exactly the same sort of trouble with.
It's what you call an ongoing problem.
Yes.
Have you sort of enjoyed coming to the group?
Yeah, I have, yeah. It's nice to have people to talk to as well, instead of going into 4 walls, check to yourself.
Mummy, shut up! Mummy, I just saw something. I just saw a person inside there.